Hello! Шановні дев'ятикласники! Ми продовжуємо відеоуроки англійської мови. Продовжуючи вивчати тему про об'єднане королівство Великої Британії та Північної Ірландії, сьогодні я пропоную здійснити віртуальну подорож до столиці королівства міста Лондон. Завдяки віртуальній екскурсії ви дізнаєтеся про деякі історичні факти, про цікаві місця та пам'ятки цього міста. Поряд з тим, ми опрацюємо нові слова і потренуємось в читанні. Для уроку підготуйте ваші робочі зошити та підручники англійська мова 9 клас Оксани Карпюк. Отже, влаштовуйтеся зручніше, ми вирушаємо.
This is London, the capital city of England and the United Kingdom. The big wheel you can see is the Millennium Wheel, or London Eye as it's also known. It's 135 metres high with 32 glass capsules. The wheel was opened in March 2000 to mark the end of the 20th century and the beginning of the new millennium. Opposite the Millennium Wheel you can find Big Ben, the famous clock tower, and the Palace of Westminster, also known as the Houses of Parliament. This is where the government meets. One of the best things about London is its parks. In Regent's Park, you have the largest grass area for sports in central London and an open-air theatre. You can relax, walk and run in the parks, but you can't cycle. Only the police can do that. Horses are another good and ecological way of keeping order in London. This is Trafalgar Square with the National Gallery Art Museum in the background. Nelson's Column is a monument to Admiral Nelson, who died at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1815. You can also visit the British Museum in Great Russell Street, or walk over the new Millennium Bridge to the Tate Modern Museum. When it opened on the 10th of June, the bridge had to be closed after just a few days because it was moving too much. Don't worry, it's okay now. The Tate Modern Museum is a converted old power station. On the other side of the Millennium Bridge is St. Paul's Cathedral. It is a tourist attraction, and you can walk the 530 steps up to the gallery and see London. Another feature of London is the changing of the guard, which takes place inside the grounds of Buckingham Palace every day at 11 a.m. It lasts about 40 minutes, but come early, as there are usually lots of people. You can take a boat along the Thames. This is Tower Bridge. It opens up for big boats, and all the car traffic has to stop for about 15 minutes. You can also walk along the top bridge that joins the two towers. If you keep going east, you arrive in the new Docklands area. There are a lot of big offices and expensive new apartments on the river there. Time certainly flies when you're travelling around London.
А зараз ми перейдемо до читання. Знайдіть вправо 1, сторінка 201-202. Перед читанням тексту давайте ознайомимося зі словами, які краще допоможуть зрозуміти текст.
You should remember. Unlike. Wide streets. Low houses. Different from each other. A commercial and trade center. Lots of historical places and famous parks. Worker. Stand. Deep river. Run into. All kinds of ships. There is so much to see. Find. New places of interest. Tired of. Worth seeing. Ranged from. Magnificent. Among. Origin. Mile west. Found. Contain. Exhibition. Life size. Wax models.
Також до вашої уваги фотоперелік визначних місць Лондона, про які йтиметься в тексті. The National Gallery, St. Thomas Operating Theatre, Charterhouse, Canary Wharf, St. Paul's Cathedral, Hampton Court Palace, Buckingham Palace, the British Museum, Madame Tussauds Museum, the Houses of Parliament, the Tower of London, Victoria and Albert Museum, Westminster Abbey. Прочитаємо цей текст разом. What is London? Speaking about London, you should remember that it is unlike any other city in the world. It has wide streets below houses. The city has never been planned, and it has many parts which are different from each other. Modern London is really three cities: the City of London, a commercial and trade center; the City of Westminster, the West End, that can be called the historical center of London, with lots of historical places and famous parks; and the City of Southwark, the East End, where workers live. London stands on the deep river Thames, which runs into the North Sea, so all kinds of ships can come into the port of London. There is so much to see in London that even Londoners can always find new places of interest. They like to say, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. There are nearly 300 places of interest that are worth seeing in London. They range from magnificent National Gallery to old St. Thomas Operating Theatre, ancient Charterhouse to modern Canary Wharf. Among numerous museums, galleries, churches, parks and gardens, there are 10 top tourist attractions. Everyone who arrives to London for the first time should start with St. Paul's Cathedral, Hampton Court, Buckingham Palace, Changing of the Guard, the British Museum, the National Gallery, Madame Tussauds, the Houses of Parliament, the Tower of London, and the Victoria and Albert Museum. The oldest part of London is Lord Hill, where the city originated. About a mile west of it there is Westminster Palace, where the king lived and the parliament met, and there is also Westminster Abbey, the coronation church. The British Museum is the largest and the richest museum in the world. It was founded in 1753 and contains one of the world's richest collections of antiquities. The Egyptian galleries contain human and animal mummies. Madame Tussauds Museum is an exhibition of hundreds of life-size wax models of famous people of yesterday and today. Here you can meet Marilyn Monroe, Elton John, Picasso, the royal family, the Beatles, and many others. Ваше завдання – зробити письмовий переклад тексту. Фотозвіт надішліть в особисті повідомлення Viber. Термін виконання – до 14 квітня. А ми продовжуємо далі. І зараз я пропоную вам прослухати аудіозапис і виконати практичні завдання до нього. Меліса побувала у Лондоні. Уважно прослухайте розповідь про її враження.
Hi, Melissa. How was your trip to London? It was your first visit there, wasn't it?
That's right. I'd never been there before. What a city.
It sounds as if you had a great time.
Yes, it was brilliant. There's something for everyone there. I loved walking along the crowded streets, especially Oxford Street, looking at all the different people from all over the world. Everything was just so lively and cosmopolitan. And the shopping was amazing too.
Yes, London is a very popular tourist destination. And what about the tourist attractions? Did you get to see many?
I saw as many as I could. The biggest problem was that I didn't have enough time or money to see everything I wanted to see. For example, I wanted to go on the London Eye, but the tickets were too expensive.
So what did you manage to see?
Well, the Tower of London was really impressive. I loved it. It was exciting to visit such a historical building and listen to the guide's stories.
Really? I think guided tours are boring.
Well, this one wasn't. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to visit Buckingham Palace as I'd planned because the queue for tickets was too long. But I went to some other amazing places. For example, Madame Tussauds Waxworks. Now that was a lot of fun. The waxworks looked so real. I even asked an old lady on a bench if I could sit beside her, and it turned out she was a waxwork too. That was so embarrassing.
Did you go out of London at all?
Actually, I did. I took a relaxing boat ride along the river to Hampton Court Palace. It was nice to leave the city and go to a quieter and more isolated place. And even though there were still lots of tourists, everything was very peaceful. It's got beautiful gardens, and I had a picnic with my friends there.
A picnic? You mean to say it didn't rain?
No, we were very lucky. Everyone says that London can be grey and boring if the weather isn't good, but we had wonderful weather.
Sounds like you had a great time. So where will you spend your next holiday?
Oh, I want to go somewhere totally different, somewhere remote or exotic. I think I'll go backpacking and get away from it all.
Let me know what you decide. Maybe I'll come along.
Why don't you? That would be great.
Наступне завдання. Відмітьте знаком галочка місця, в яких Меліса побувала, а знаком хрестик – місця, де вона не була. За потреби прослухайте аудіозапис ще раз і визначте речення True or False. Фотозвіт виконаних вправ надішліть особистим повідомленням у Viber. Термін виконання до 14 квітня. Бажаю вам успіхів! На цьому наш урок завершено. Дякую всім за увагу. Goodbye!